Welcome back to Generative AI 101, the podcast where we break down the complex world of artificial intelligence and generative artificial intelligence into bite sized episodes. I'm your host, Emily Laird, and today we're kicking off a mini series on a hot topic evaluating large language models. There's a lot to cover, so let the games begin. Welcome to Generative AI 101. All right, let's get into it. Now, you might be wondering, why should we care about evaluating AI models? Well, it's like choosing the right tool for the job, whether it's for a business application or simply ensuring fairness and accuracy. Evaluating LLMs is crucial for understanding their strengths and limitations. But let's make it a bit more relatable. Imagine you're trying to find the best chef in town. You'd want to see them whip up a variety of dishes, something gourmet, something comforting, maybe even a tricky souffle. You'd also want to know how they handle dietary requests and kitchen safety. Similarly, when we evaluate large language models, we're looking at how they perform across a wide range of tasks. Can they answer questions accurately? Can they generate creative content? Do they avoid harmful or biased outputs? And just like our chef, we don't just look at the results, we also consider how they got there. So, why is this evaluation so important? So, for starters, it helps us assess performance. Think of a company needing to pick an AI model for their customer service, and a lot of companies are doing that right now. They need to know which models respond more accurately and fluently. This is where evaluation comes in, helping them choose the best tool for the job. Next, it's about comparing models. Companies often need to fine tune models for specific industries, and comparative evaluations really help them find the best fit. But it's not just about finding the most accurate model, it's also about detecting and preventing bias. AI models can unintentionally perpetuate biases present in their training data. We talked about this a few episodes ago. So, a thorough evaluation is key to identifying and mitigating these issues. And let's not forget about building user trust. If people are going to rely on these systems, whether for business decisions or just finding the best local restaurant, they need to trust that the AI is giving them accurate, unbiased information. Evaluation helps ensure that these systems are aligned with user expectations and societal norms. So let's look at some of the key ways that these models are evaluated, right? So we talked about it already, authenticity and accuracy. Basically, does the model know what it's talking about? We measure this with fancy metrics like precision and recall, but really it's about whether it can spit out the right answer. Then we look at speed. It's like waiting in line for coffee. No one has time for it. If the model can't deliver fast, especially for real-time tasks, it's a problem. Then there's fairness and equality. This is the no jerks rule, right? The model shouldn't play favorites or come off like your opinionated uncle at Thanksgiving. It needs to treat everyone fairly. Then there's explainability. So when the model makes a call, can it tell you why? It's like asking someone for directions. They should be able to explain their route, not just point vaguely and walk away. Safety and responsibility are also major implications in these evaluations. We need the models to have a conscience, right? Or at least some good rules in place. No wild or reckless decisions here. No, this is a no fun zone when we look at safety and responsibility in these models. Then we look at things like understanding context. So it's not just what you say, but how you say it. The model needs to get the gist, even if you're being a little vague or sarcastic, like me. There's generalization. Can the model roll with the punches when faced with something new? So adaptability really is key here. We also look at consistency, and we find this inconsistency across models. We find it when we prompt a model in a different way. We find it when we prompt a model the same. We get these inconsistencies. And to be real, nobody likes a flip-flopper, okay? So the model should really stick to its guns, offering similar answers to similar questions. Let's not forget about the bottom line either. Cost plays a big role in this. Fancy models are great, but they shouldn't break the bank. And you're going to see new offerings rolling out from spaces like OpenAI, where you can customize their models, and it's great, but it's not cheap. Okay. That's going to be a problem for smaller to mid range businesses. Then there's things like versatility, real time updates, right? So the more tricks a model can pull off across different languages, industries, scenarios, the better. Real time updates, models can refresh themselves on the fly, like that friend who's always in the know, super valuable. But this goes back to that idea that we want accuracy, right? We started with that. We want accuracy in our models, and that means they need to be up to date. So when we ask about what happened last week, we're met with a result we're not met with as a large language model. I can't do that. That consistent response we're so used to seeing. And so let's kind of wrap up and now let's talk about the 5 most common methods used to evaluate large language models. So there's perplexity, and this metric measures how well a model can predict a sample of text. Lower perplexity values indicate better performance. There's human evaluation. So here, humans actually judge and assess the quality of the model's output based on things like relevance, fluency, coherence, and overall quality. Then there's blue or bilingual evaluation understudy. So this metric is used in machine translation, comparing generated text with reference translations. Okay. We have a thing called Rogue. It's recall oriented understudy gisting evaluation. Yeah, I don't just put it on a test. I don't know. It's so I live in higher education. It's a world of these acronyms. Okay. So Rogue scores evaluate how well a model generates summaries compared to reference summaries, focusing on precision, recall, and an F1 score. We'll go into these further in these episodes, okay? It's just too much to unpack in one. Lastly, it's diversity. So this measures the variety of uniqueness of the model's responses, with higher scores indicating more creative outputs, right? So we talk a lot about on this podcast the idea of using these models for ideation, using them as an extension of a brainstorming session, using them to figure out where you missed in this proposal you're writing or what's not included in this recommendation report you're putting forward to your boss, okay? All right, so that's going to do it for this episode of Large Language Model Evaluation Intro. We're just trying to kind of introduce this mini series and our focus here. If you have questions, thoughts, or just want to connect, you can find me on LinkedIn. Just look up Emily Laird, Laird, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and remember, you know more about large language model evaluation now than you did when you arrived.